All right, okay, let's get started. Oh, hey, sorry, I didn't see you there. Welcome to Offset with Ryan Selvey. I'm your host, Ryan Selvey, and it was great to have you here. We're here with Anika Aggarwal today, but I'm not bringing her in yet because I still want to say hello to everybody first. If this is your first time at Offset, you're not alone because this is the first time we're doing Offset this week. We've been doing what? We've done 2, 4, 5. We've done 5 episodes so far. This is our 6th episode. I'm really excited about it. Adobe Live team is on vacation in Malibu. I don't know that. I don't know where they are. They're on vacation and they asked for me to take over the stream. They gave me the keys to the kingdom. If you're watching over on YouTube, hey, how's it going? Come on over to Behance. Hang out in the chat. If you're watching the replay, you can't chat, but it's good to have you here. My name's Ryan Selvey, like I said, and I'm a motion designer. I live stream on Behance, my own personal Behance, on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. We are doing streams twice a day this week. Tomorrow's actually our last day, though. And we're really excited to have you here. So hello to a bunch of people that are in the chat. Welcome back to Bruce and Hayden, Rick, Titus, Rob, Mona, Anika's here. Wow, check that out. Bay. Oh man, there's a lot of chat, and I don't know if I'm going to have time to catch up on it before I bring in Anika. But Wade's here, and Wade is holding down the fort as our moderator. Thank you, Wade, very much for being here. Thank you for moderating, and also thank you as Voodoo. I think is also as a moderator as well. I don't know who outranks who. I don't know if it's like a military thing or what. I don't know how the mod ranks work, but it's great to have both of you here, and I respect both of you equally. But anyway, I'm just blabbering on. Guess we should get into it. Without further ado, please welcome. And when I say please welcome, I expect to see a bunch of like claps and hellos and waves in the chat. Otherwise, I'm gonna put her away, and then we're going to bring her back until we get the right amount of energy. So please give a very warm welcome to my very good friend, Anika Aggarwal. Hi.
Hey, what's up? How you doing, Ryan?
I'm keeping an eye on the chat to see if I have to get rid of you or not, because I need to make sure everyone gives me claps and hellos.
What? I just got here. You already want to get rid of me?
Well, yeah, it depends. It depends on
the
people in the chat.
Can I get some emojis in the chat? I don't see them.
There we go. There we go. All right.
Hey.
Cool. There's just a little bit of some latency. Welcome to the stream, Anika.
Thank you.
Anika is one of my best friends, so I'm excited to have this opportunity to be on Adobe Live with her. So we're gonna have a really good time over the next 2 hours. Do you want to introduce yourself, though, to all the other people that don't know who you are, or just need a refresher? You just want to give like a little breakdown as to who you are and how you identify as a artist?
For sure. Yeah, let's do it. So, hey, hello, people on the interwebs. My name is Anika, and I'm a graphic designer and illustrator, and also an Adobe Live host. Hey, I don't know if you've seen me around Behance, but I'm here a lot. I stream on my personal Behance as well every Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you probably watch this on replay, you can catch me there. Hey, come on, say hi, hello. We work in all kinds of apps. I like to challenge myself, so I work in 3D and After Effects as well, which I sometimes like and sometimes don't like. But if you want to hop in on all of that action, make sure to follow me on all of my socials that you probably see here. Hey, I pointed it right.
Nice plug there. Look, you just like pointed like a weatherman. Just like, boom, bringing in the information.
Hey, can you tell I've been practicing? But yeah, I work with small businesses and startups. I work with them creating their visual language and also bringing across their message that they want for the target audience. I also work on commission illustration. So I am available for freelance. So hey, if you're listening out there, reach out to me.
Yeah,
that's my plug. That's my real plug.
That's a great plug. I mean, that's what it's all about. I really want to make sure that we can properly highlight you and we can properly show all the great work that you do, and we can also just have some fun with some different art stuff. We're going to be going over some art history. We'll be looking a little bit more at the letter of the day, which is letter Q. We'll also be looking at Anika's 36 Days of Type product, which is the cutest one that I've seen yet. And it's all with penguins. And we'll be doing some monkey paws. We'll be doing a whoa, I didn't know that was there. So got a lot planned for the next 2 hours. So make sure you stick around. If you're working and you're busy, just put us in the background. Tell your boss that it's a seminar and that you're using it to further your education.
For sure. Yeah.
Also, hello to Asia and DP Design and Pepe all over on YouTube. If you're over on YouTube, make sure you hop on over to Behance to chat so that you can say hello to everybody else. We've got a bunch of new people coming in and saying hello as well in the chat. And thank you guys so much for the very warm welcome to Anika. It's so many emojis, waves. Frank is being funny with giving a beach wave rather than a hand wave. I appreciate the support, and I'm sure Anika does too.
Indeed.
So we gave a little bit of a brief intro of kind of like who you are as an artist, but you can, actions speak louder than words. So I say we should check out your work. You want to do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's look at your work. All right,
Hey,
check it out.
can I
This is
just
a
say? Can I just
Behance,
say
did I
before
say?
we start? Yeah, it is the Behance. But before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Ryan Survey over here. Can I just say, can we get emojis in the chat for these transitions? I mean, chef's kiss, for real. I mean, I would have never thought of putting myself in a green screen and doing this. And it kind of ties in to the whole idea of what we're going to design today. So make sure to stick around. Also, yes,
Well, thank you. That's
now
very
we can
sweet
get
of you.
started.
I
Now we
appreciate
can
that.
get started. Um, yeah, so this is my Behance. If you've not been around, this is the top few are the my favorite projects, I think. So we have a branding project right here. If you click onto these, you will see details. I like to put in a brief about what the project is. Right before we get into it, we have this was actually created on my first Adobe Live as a guest. So this is actually very special and close to my heart. So I always keep it on top, irrespective of if not being a chronological. What are words? Chronological order. You can find some streams here as well. And my personal favorite is actually this one. This one is last year's 36 Days of
Last
Type.
year's, this is antiquated now.
Yeah, I had never participated in 36 Days of Type before 2021. Yeah. What our time. What our time. Wow. What are words? Okay, sorry.
What are time?
I'll
What are
stop.
words?
But I did not know After Effects before, and I really wanted to dabble into it, so I decided to give it a try. Hey, why not push yourself into something? So challenges for me are a way to learn a new tool and also have a goal with it. So for me, it was to get over the fact that I found After Effects intimidating, and now I don't. So I took it step by step. For the first one, it was really simple for me. I just had like a small butterfly going across florals. It doesn't have a lot of movement in it. But then with B, I figured out what wiggle expressions are. So I'm like, okay, let's do this. And then with C, there was a lot more movement that I saw. All of these letters, by the way, all of the letter forms have flowers that I chose florals as my theme because I always like to do something with florals. And the colors were also something that I experimented with. And all of these are basically H for hibiscus, maybe, not maybe, but yes. And
Maybe.
I was for iris, I think. I'm forgetting.
No, you're
Everything's
good.
hard when you're streaming.
No, and also it's been
But
a year since you've worked on these, so it's exciting.
yeah, it was. I had to Google the names of the florals because I personally don't know. My memory is bad. This was a fun one because with this I realized that there is a CC rain. So, pro tip: if you're ever working in After Effects and you're new and you want to create rain, just use the effect. Just use the preset CC rainfall. I spent 1 hour making rain, only to realize what rain was. So yeah, it hits and misses, and this is how you learn. So I would anyone out there listening, if you don't ever use After Effects, please do. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. This helped me actually create all of my stream graphics as well. I have it as stream, sorry, still images here as well if you want to browse through it. And yeah,
Yeah. And
that's that.
Bay Morgan is saying, love these so much. And Steve is saying some great stuff. Rick is also saying if he started today, he might get 36 letters done for the next year, which is so true. The amount of time that these things take. Hayden says
Yeah.
Anika's goal setting mindset with products is unmatched, which I agree. I think it's really exciting that you taught yourself After Effects through a challenge of something that is so already demanding of
Yeah.
learning a program, and then also demanding of a daily challenge of taking time to make something every day. So do you feel like you made things in advance, or did you normally stick to
Um,
one a day? How did that kind of work out?
I actually, so last time it was I don't know, it was my first attempt. So I wasn't really sure how I should plan out things. And I just like to take the challenge by the day. I have participated in Inktober as well. So if you scroll through my Instagram right here, there's a lot of stuff here. But this is my Inktober last year. And I like these kind of challenges because I wanted to push myself into character design a little bit. And I wanted to see what I come up with. So I made up this pumpkin character and I had a lot of fun learning how to make different forms and shapes like you do in comics. And
Mhm.
so yeah, I like to take it every single day so that I see the progress in real time and not just have everything ready. Because obviously on the way when you do this, you learn a new thing every single day, and I want to be able to implement something that I learned on day 24, for example, on day 25.
Yeah.
So that's how I work. But this time I did create some sketches for the letter form just because I wasn't supposed to or wasn't planning on doing the 36 days of type this time. But on the whim of, I was watching something on Apple TV or Netflix, I don't really remember, and I just saw some penguins there, and I was like, I always draw penguins. I should do something more with penguins. And I was like, hey,
Was it
let's
March
just
of the
explore
Penguins?
penguins. No, it was not. But it would have been great had it been that. I'm trying to see if I can bring up some sketches for my 36 days of type. I do have some current sketches that I made. So let me just show you the finished products first. So this is, for example, this is the M that I created, and this was a bit of a challenge for me this time. I had to make quite a few variations of these and iterations just because I felt like it wasn't working right in the form of a letter form. And but
Wait,
my
before you show, wait, get it off, get off. You gotta press the button. You gotta press the button first. Go too fast.
Ooh, let's see your sketchbook.
Whew, that was close. Oh my gosh. All right, cool. All right, now we can see your sketches.
Okay, so if you've been following my 36 days of type on Instagram, you probably know how some of these look like, but don't also ignore the R, please. I'm gonna change that, okay? Don't let this judge my
It looks like the
36 days a
penguin is
day.
like flipping its baby upside down. Or
maybe
it's a
maybe that's the case.
maybe it's a bigger penguin that like grew a little bit faster in puberty than the other penguins, and it's like stealing the lunch money of the smaller penguin, and it's an R. So,
um
I like your creativity.
Yeah, so this M basically looked like this, and it's, according to me, it's kind of unrecognizable. And I would not,
Yeah.
I mean, if I saw this standalone, I would not see this as an M. But now, if I zoom out of this, like 1000%, not 1000, maybe 500, I do still see an M. And I think that's probably what I like the most. And yeah, Q was a challenge today. I had to work hard with Q.
Wow.
Um, this queue was weird. So if you ever know any type basic, not you, but like if you out there know any type basics, you know that Q is made up of O. So I used O as my base
The O one
figure.
is so cute.
And then I thought I'd flip it, and it kind of looked like a cube, but then it was just a flipped O, and I was like, do I want that? And so this was kind of a challenge, but I think I like where we got here. Obviously, I want to convert these to like a font later on. That is why I tried to be minimal with this. And sometimes, not sometimes, some of these don't really follow the type rules because the D over here should be flat if you ever have seen any font.
No, the negative space creates that flatness because the beak then kind of fills in for it. It's important to know the
Yeah.
rules to break the rules, and I think that this is close enough that you were able to break the rules while still, you know, following them, which
Yeah.
is cool.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I feel like this does not follow all the rules, but then again, does E follow the rules? Um,
Oh,
that's
can
a
we pull
question
up
for myself.
E and F? Because I know originally when you showed me some of the concepts for it, and
Hmm.
one of the issues that you ran into was that the E and the F looked a little too similar with maybe just a
Yeah.
small modification.
Hmm.
And then by the time I saw the actual final version, it looks like you had updated it to really create a more of a dynamic change, which I thought was cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That is.
do you have any reason why you switch inverse black some days and white other days?
It's just for the gram.
Do it for the gram,
It's just
baby.
do it for the gram. Yeah, I never do it for the gram, but I just wanted to experiment with my Instagram layering because I feel like social media acts really like it really pays off sometimes. And I feel like I should do that more. So I've been trying to plan stuff out in the way that it looks aesthetic. So with my Inktober, I felt like I should probably change and switch things up. So then I started moving on to making some letter forms, like this is a typography based post, then there's illustration, then there's typography, then there's illustration, and so on and so forth, and then 36 days of type started, so I couldn't mess with that. I mean, I could have made an illustration, but that was a lot. I mean, it would
Yeah,
have been
I
fun
think
to have like
I think it's great. It's cool to see. Like I know last year you used a typeface, and this year it definitely seems like you had to
yeah,
stretch a little bit more because you're playing with letter forms.
yeah,
Two things here. Steve is saying that they have smaller little penguins in New Zealand, and they're cool to see. Which another
nice.
day that I don't understand why I don't live in New Zealand. And Bruce would like to know if you do traditional sketches before bringing it into the computer. And
um
you use Fresco, right?
I did use Fresco. I do use traditional sketches when we actually did the sketchbook thing, didn't we? But I do have some sketches pulled up here that
Oh
are
well, we can
on
pull it up
my.
again. You know, let's do it again. I'm gonna hit the button, then we'll go into your sketchbook. Unless you want to
Oh,
do your
let's do
YouTube right
it.
now. Where do you?
No,
I guess it
let's
makes
do
more
the.
sense to do it.
Yep.
I'm talking
Wait,
over
what?
you. I'm sorry.
Wait, what are we doing?
But we'll do the
uh,
sketchbook. So let's do it.
Ooh, let's see your sketchbook.
Also, Wade is saying that now beak serifs are a thing. So thank you very much for that.
nice. Also,
Oh,
hello
hello
to
to
everyone in
Drossel
the
in the chat.
chat.
Yeah, there's so
I
many
the chat
people.
is right here. But if I haven't said hello to you, it's because I really am talkative and I love streaming. So yeah, it's a thing.
It's all
But hey,
going
this
so
is
fast. I'm so excited about how many people are excited about you being here, and I love the interaction with the chat. So it's great to see you all. And if we don't specifically call it out, just know that we see you, and it's great to see you. And if you ask a question and I don't get to it, feel free to send it again. That's my blessing. Don't send it 4 times; just send it twice, and I'll try to get
yeah.
to it. So
Yeah.
anyway, your
Don't make up
sketchbook,
pro
ma'am.
mods. Don't make up pro mods mad. Okay. Don't send links in the chat. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Let's go back. Go
Sorry.
back. Okay, so this is something that is not, you can't really understand it if you don't haven't been there, but this is probably the first time that I was making something in Adobe Dimension, and I was like, hey, let's just make fruits or whatever. So I was just sketching out what I can make the scene look like, and this is like an isometric view, and then there's like a platform here. It can be matte. I was thinking about materials, adding stairs, and then this could be a fruits thing. There, even when learning Dimension, I put myself to the challenge that hey, let's just use just the basic shapes there, and then move on to making something. So that is a fun thing, and I used Photoshop to like create it, but this is how it started. I don't know if it's still on my profile, but I'll be sure to send a link in just a bit if it is. um this was again just a concept that is working around that hey, buzz of the town, it's a vegan restaurant. I was working with like some type variations here, trying to see if it fits the bill, but this
You
got
said it was a
scrapped.
vegan
And
restaurant.
yeah,
Oh, interesting. Because then it kind of looks like you have a little bit of like a Western influence here with these, the
yeah,
or
with the
Gothic almost,
mm-hmm.
um, with this buzz over here. But it's interesting to
And
see.
then yeah, go ahead, sorry.
No, that was my inflections were weird. That was the end of my sentence.
And then I was working with some shapes here. I wanted to like make it divide it into simpler shapes just to make it work. And yeah, these are some concepts that never came to life, but these are still in my sketchbook. And I know we mentioned
The
Inktober
Pumpkin
earlier,
Man.
so yeah, so this was the prompt for extinct, and the most funny I made like this. I'm forgetting what this is called. A pig?
Pogo stick.
Pogo stick? A pogo stick, yeah. So I was thinking hard for this one. I was like, I already have a pumpkin character, but I can't make the pumpkin extinct because that would ruin my series. And also, pumpkins are not extinct. Halloween, hey, hello. But we have the pogo stick here. And I just thought that nobody uses pogo sticks, and I put it up on social media. And then we had actual people who use pogo sticks still commenting on it. It is bad.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
oh,
think
this
pogo sticks
is,
are extinct either. I feel like some people
yeah.
can do flips on them and do really cool tricks. So
Yeah, so this is how it started. I just sketched with like a pencil. I don't remember what pencil it was, but probably a lead pencil, but that's what usually I use. And then this is another one. This is a splat. You can see my bad handwriting here as well. But yeah. And then this
now, do
is
you
another
always
one.
use lined sketchbooks? Do you
Not
prefer that
really,
just because
no.
you like to take notes, or is it kind of just whatever you have on hand?
It is a combination of whatever I have on hand and also because I take notes at the same time. So since I do write, like do make some logo variations here or whatever, I want to have like straight lines because I'm OCD like that. Yeah, it just helps me visualize it better because sometimes when you take sketches into Illustrator, they don't really work the way you think they will. This
Yeah,
just helps me make it in a way that it might work. Hey, maybe. So yeah,
I want to get one of
that's
those
what this.
gridded ones. I know they also make grid
Yeah.
sketchbooks, and I remember seeing people do those. And they just kind of give you a better concept of being able to bring it over to Illustrator and check it out. Um,
Yeah. I
People are
also
talking about how
want
they're
one of
scared of
them.
pogo sticks. Steve says pogo sticks and super tall dudes are a recipe for the funniest video grand prizes. And Hayden says pogo sticks are pretty scary. Umacorn loves the
Oh, yeah.
grids. Lots of S's.
Hey, let's bring on the grids. But no.
And then what do you have
Um,
below on the sketchbooks underneath there?
oh, yeah. Okay. So this one is actually something that we're working on today. I thought it would be nice to bring this in. I had actually forgotten that I did this on paper and pencil before bringing it to Fresco. And I did that just because I wanted to make a mock-up of my sketchbook, and I forgot that I actually did it with a pen and paper. Hey, I actually did it in a sketchbook.
Yeah, that's pretty
um,
cool.
Yeah, so I came up with this concept. Actually, Adobe Live has given me a platform to work on passion projects. Whenever I come on, I try to give on new techniques and new ideas out there, just to showcase that even portfolio projects can work out for you and grab you more work. So if you're just starting out, if you're just a beginner, hey, fill up your portfolio with whatever ideas you really really like and want to see out there in the world. I think that's the best tip ever. Instead of just going to the internet and finding briefs, I mean that's good as well. Go ahead and do that. No problems with that, but I personally started out with making a perfume brand because I love perfumes, and I was like, hey, let's just make a brand out of it, because why not? This is one of those passion projects. I really like virtual reality, and I wanted to see something. I know with the pandemic and everything has been online, and there have been museum tours all across the world, but not where I am. So I just wanted to, if I live in a country where I can't see these things happening, I want to be the face of the market or whatever. I just want to be that person who is bringing it for the rest of us.
Yeah. Still waiting on
So
you to get
I
that VR headset, though.
yeah,
Still
I
waiting.
am. Yeah,
I need to
I
get you
am.
one.
Soon. Also the Switch, but yeah, soon.
I'll also
But
switch.
this was the idea that came up with having a one-way ticket to anywhere, and the idea was basically to create a VR space where you can tour museums and tour galleries and all of that stuff. And I see this right here. This is made in July last year, and I see that I have this art can be NFTs too. And I had no idea that I had written that there, but I was really thinking of a lot of things clearly.
That's
So I
so
have this
funny.
here. In my notes, it says it's a museum of museums. It's a one-way ticket to anywhere. You can in search of everything. There's no such thing as too far. So maybe some of these are slogans. I have some color choices here because I want it to be bold. There's also another slogan here. So yeah, this is just a way for me to brainstorm and think of words. I know a lot of people make a mind map. I wanted to make one for this, but it really depends on if I'm working with a client and if I have a difficulty in coming up with a concept. For this, since it was really close to my heart, I did not have any difficulty coming up with a concept. I did take a look at some of the existing logos out there for museums just to like understand the customer and like basically the competition, not the customers, the competition. And then initially I wanted to name it Art for You because it's art for you, and I wanted to make it like a monogram sort of a thing. So this
Yeah,
is
I
my
like the
concept here.
monograms. I like the exploration you have here. It seems like for some of them, you kind of tried to condense it to as few lines as possible, and other ones you kind of just had them intersect and
Yeah.
kind of make this crazy crossover that still showcases all the letter forms, but brings them closer together to being a collection of shapes.
Yeah, that's basically the idea. I really love responsive logos. So the idea was to make something that also works as a favicon. And this one would ideally be good for an icon or when you scale it really down. So I try to come up with something that is usable across all platforms and is still legible when you use it and you can just simply recognize it. I mean, that's what logos are, right? You got to make it simple.
Yeah,
So
and
then I
scalable.
ended up, oh yeah, that too. And then I ended up changing the name to We Are Art because it's a play on words. So We Are Art, hey, virtual reality art. Um,
Wait, walk
and
me
I
through
don't
that
know,
one. We are art.
We Are
How's that play
Art.
on art?
Wait, what?
How's that play on art? Play on words. Walk me through it.
Oh, there you go. We Are
Oh,
Art.
we
We
are.
Are
We
Art.
are like
Oh,
VR.
I just wrote We Art here. Oh my god, ignore that.
We are art.
We are art. Okay, no, we are art. I did look it up on the internet and I did find a website that is already called that, so that was bad. But then again, this is art. This is actually not called we are art, but they're we are all art. The concept is very similar. I just want to give them a shout out just because I found them online while I was doing the research. So this is again a very I really like their concept. It's called weareallart.com. And they do something similar, but they also provide a platform for you as a curator or someone from the museum to make an exhibition online. And they will do everything. They will virtualize your exhibitions. They are for artists, for galleries, for museums, for collectors. For my concept, it's very, very similar. And also, pro tip: it's always a good time to check if your brand name exists on the internet already, because
Yes.
that's
And if
always
it's
bad.
something inappropriate online or someplace in the world
Yep,
or accidentally a slur somewhere else, like a good Google search is always a very good beginning step for creating an identity.
absolutely. Yeah, so I found this and I was a little bummed about it, but then I was like, hey, my thing is different and it's just a concept. So I guess it's fine. And since I'm crediting them, I guess it's all right. So always look at crediting people for their work. Yeah, take a look at this. This is a really cool platform and you can see some exhibition spaces here as well. Something to look out for. I know there's VR Alt Space as well, where you can just log in and Alt Space VR. I'm sorry, I said that wrong, but you can look at that and just like experience. It's not really an immersive experience unless you have like a VR headset, which is essentially an HTC Vive, is that how you say it, or an Oculus Rift
Mhm.
or a Quest. And it's not really an immersive experience until you have one of those VR headsets, but it is still an experience, it's still virtual. So yeah, it's
So
reality.
yeah,
So
exploring the new way of showcasing your art for other people that might have it as well.
yeah.
Rob wants to know if you require creative briefs from your clients or get their direction through the interview process.
It's a mix of both. I know Rob asked this question last time as well. Hey, Rob, what? But it's a mix of both. I do like to have a creative brief and a direction when I'm working with a client, or if I don't have that, I ask as many questions as I want during the discovery call just to get a hang of things, and then I just reiterate that over an email or like a call when we're talking about our goals and what we want to do with the project. That's really a good way to like really lay it down and like confirm and lock it in. And then, hey, if it doesn't work out in the end and they say this is not what we talked about, you can just go back to the recording meeting or the email. So that's a good way to lock in stuff. Just saying.
Absolutely. Cool. All right, so we're
um
about 30 minutes into the stream. I say we'll take a quick little break. We
yeah.
can look at some promo for other shows going on over this week and next week. Tomorrow we have Let's Go Fresco with Kyle Webster. Let's Go Fresco with Kyle T. Webster, Thursday mornings at 7:30, only on Adobe Live. Join Cody Bear as she hosts Power Prompts, Medieval March, Week 4, Apothecary Herbs, every Monday at 2:30 Pacific, only on Adobe Live. And finally, make sure you check out the Adobe Font Show. It happened this morning. I don't quite have an animated one for this quite yet. We will have it in the near future. But Ben and Ari walk you through Adobe typefaces and non-Adobe typefaces and talk about the best way to use modifications to type, how to incorporate them with images properly without having to rely specifically like on drop shadows or little antiquated techniques. And it's just a really good way to learn more about type and font. I am always trying to learn a little bit more as to how to successfully use type. And it's really cool to see them who really dedicate their time and their trade to exploring letter forms. So something that we can all learn. But yeah. Ashraful says add. Yeah, add, but not really add. I made those. So it's kind of also a motion portfolio thing for me too. So and also like, yeah, they're great programs. I love Adobe Live's programming, and there's a lot to be seen. So if you are new to the broadcast schedule, make sure you check it out. Today we have we had Swoop Nebula earlier, and we have Anika right now. Later there is a thing by Claudie, and then tomorrow we're going to be having Jamie Brindle and Rachel Ashley on the show, which I'm really excited about as well. But I digress. Back to Anika.
Yeah, I feel like those promos or ads that the chat says are not really ads. They're like something that ties in the whole program, because if you're watching this right now on like a live time, you will know what's coming up next. So stay tuned. Stay glued to your screens, you guys.
Stay glued to your screen.
But not really. Don't quote me on that, okay? Take your breaks, drink water, stay hydrated, say your work, do monkey paws, all of that good stuff as well. But also come back. Okay. I'm done. So yeah, we have the stuff here. These are my final sketches or concepts. I think I wanted to use bold shapes here just to like come up with something that can be reused across the visual language. So I came up with like W and then using these as A's. So yeah, we're just gonna get into it. And if you're wondering how this came up, it's just hiding my artboards. So that's what I'm doing here. And also these are
H.
And these are my keyboard shortcuts that you can see right over here. So if you have any questions,
just don't type in any passwords.
Oh yeah.
Or write offensive things to me on Discord while you're like, oh my god, I'm having a horrible time, Ryan.
Yeah, so
look through it.
I'm just gonna get started with the W here. As you can see, I set up my layers like this. I'm gonna hide my sketchbook, but we have some sketches, and this is our working layer. So name your layers, guys.
Oh, and let me start up some music. We have a few different choices. We have acoustic cinematic, we have dance pop, we have daydreaming. One that's called Feeding the Ducks. I have no idea what that sounds.
Oh my god.
Into Space, Lo-Fi, Night Driving, or Rock. Which one do you want to listen to?
Why don't we let the chat decide? I mean, obviously, choose a good one, chat. But
I feel like everyone's about to say Feeding the Ducks. I'm kind of just want to click Feeding the Ducks just to hear what it sounds like. So while you guys are figuring out what we should listen to, Voodoo says Feeding the Ducks. All right, this is gonna be Feeding the Ducks. I have no idea what it's gonna sound like.
Oh, it's not bad to start with, I think. Okay, so I have at least like some. I'm distracted by the music. Anyway, yeah.
Quack, quack, quack.
Okay, now I am distracted. No, I'm kidding. I am. So these are some of the W's that I pulled up. Double in French, but these are some of the fonts that I pulled up. I think all of them are Adobe fonts. Yeah, they are. So
how do you go about finding the ones that you want to use? Did you just go to Typekit and type things in and then kind of scroll through?
Yeah, so I do have, I think I have it pulled up somewhere. Do I have it pulled up? I think I do. Oh, I do. Oh, also this is my YouTube, but hey. So this is fonts.adobe.com where you can find any of them. Well, like this. Let me just activate it. But I have a font folder and you can see. I also really like this. And there's this really fun new feature where you can see recommendations of what goes with like the type hierarchy. So yeah, make sure. I also really like this. I'm sorry. This is an addiction, you guys. I know a bunch of people in the chat really like fonts, but you can click on browse all fonts here, and there's also Google fonts that you can look at. But this is Adobe fonts, and hey, that's my name. But you click on. But
at least it was just your name. At least it wasn't like I hate my job or something.
Well, the good thing is I don't hate my job. So
yeah.
Hey.
Just trying to think of something.
We have. Oh, this is a good one. So yeah, that's basically what I do. And you have categories right here. Let's give Ryan a luxury feel, shall we? And then we have, oh, I really like this one because of like the distribution of the weights across the letter phones.
What
So
if it
yeah,
was
you
like?
can.
What if it was like, sorry, we can't use this word in luxury. Please use a classier word.
Then I'd use mine. Okay. Okay. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Clever said, I
We
just
can.
had duck tragedy at lunchtime and feel guilty
Oh my
because I was
god.
browsing for ducklings earlier. I don't know what.
We don't want to know.
I don't want to know the series of events there. But I hope this isn't triggering for you. This feeding the ducks song from StreamYard.
Yeah, so I just created outlines, but I don't know. We can talk about like the process or
Yeah.
what the idea is. But
Let's go for it.
yeah, I'm just using the pen tool. Oh, my caps lock is on. That's actually a great thing for the caps lock to be on, because then you see like this. If I use the pen tool, it's not really the usual marker that there is. It's like a precision marker. If I turn caps lock off, it's the pen tool. So this precision marker, you can actually turn it on. I don't know if you know this, but if you go
Do
to
you ever
Illustrator,
use the precision mark? Precision?
I do use it.
I never
by
do. I
error.
always immediately turn it right back off.
I use it when I accidentally turn on the precision marker by having caps
Yeah,
lock
right?
on.
Because I mean, in its own way, I mean, this is all preference. Don't mean to yuck other
Yep.
people's yums, but like the pen
Yeah.
tool, it's like it's already pointing to exactly where I want it to be. Like the fact that they're just taking another line and putting it over doesn't really benefit me too much. But I think it's
Yeah,
all
the crosshairs.
based.
I think the only place that I find crosshairs really, really useful is in Adobe Fresco, because you can show the brush crosshairs in Fresco. But if you want the precise cursors to be on always, you can go to your preferences and turn it on right here. You can turn on this checkbox, and yeah, you can do it. Hey, you can do it.
Also, I'm seeing some
But
chat over in YouTube. If you're on YouTube, make sure you pop on to that Behance link to join the chat. But it's great to have you here. Hi, nice to see you, Race.
hey, yeah. So now we have this A, I guess, going on, right? Okay,
Oh,
let
so
me
you're
make a
going to
copy
be
of this.
repurposing it to then have the A of the same
Yeah.
width and type. Oh, that's cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a nice way to
I
add
just
conformity. The interesting thing about it, though, is like you can see that the left angle is not the same as the right angle. So when you put these
Exactly.
side by side, it's creating a width change,
which is interesting. I'm gonna do something here. And I am going to use this one instead. I shouldn't have deleted that line, but that's fine too. Okay. Oh,
always remember,
let's see.
copy and go.
Well, it's okay. What's the fun in that?
All right.
It's okay. What's the
All
fun
right,
in
what
that?
tool
I
did you
mean,
just use there? What was that?
I use a shape builder tool. I'm gonna undo real quick, but I have this. If I go to outline mode, that is Command Y or Control Y if you're working on a Windows device. We have this line that I just created using the pen tool, and this is a letter form, which is outlines. I did save a copy here. Hey, this is not outlines. So you can select both of these and press Shift M on your keyboard, or also go over here, which is basically your shape builder tool. You can go here and press Option or Alt on your machine and minus this shape. If you look at the cursor, there's like a little minus there, and if I not hold it, it's a plus. So I can either add these shapes, which is essentially what it was earlier, hey, but if I press this option and hold it, it just gives me the rest of the shape. So I'm gonna go out of command, like outline mode, and delete the shape, and now I see it. Now I see
And
that
you
it's
didn't
not
even have to
perfect.
use the Pathfinder tool, right? Like that was just a line on top of a shape, and then using the shape builder tool, you were able to remove that.
Yeah.
Just cool.
I do see that it's yeah. I feel like I use the shape builder a lot, but it's also like a preference thing, because some people don't really like the shape builder. But I feel like personally in my workflow, it really helps me visualize stuff better. I'm a visual learner, so that's why I'm not much of a reader, but I still read books. Hey. I feel like video content is always for me. So yeah, I just went ahead with the pen tool and deleted that extra shape. I did get the shape from the other side of the W, so I'm gonna keep a copy of this and I'm gonna flip it just to see how the shape looks like here. Just because
How
we
did you just flip
mentioned
that
that.
right there?
Oh, so we have the shape right here. I'm gonna go to my properties, which I can pull up right here. So there's this little handy dandy flip horizontal button. I can click on that, and if I have the shape selected, hey, it's a dance right here. But
The dancing A.
Exactly. You got it. Hey, you got it. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing here. So I'm going over with like the sketch idea I had and looking at how these two look. I feel like the second one kind of looks better, but I can't really tell. It's like an optical illusion for me. So I'm gonna zoom out and just see how both of these look. Oh, not you.
Also in the chat, Clever saying outlines view is so useful when needed. And Becca says, I always forget about outline mode. It's one of the ones that has been so ingrained into my workflow now because so many of my documents get so messy, and getting into outline mode really helps me navigate around, especially when you're working with groups or if you're working with things with a lot of lines and shapes. Outline mode can go a really long way. So yeah, always remember Control Y or Command Y.
For sure. Yeah, outline mode really helps me. I'm just trying to see if these two shapes are the same. Ideally, they should be, and they are. So yeah, it's the same shape.
Huzzah!
It's not an optical illusion. These are the same shapes, but it's always fun to see if they really are, and if your mind's just not tricking you. So I'm gonna delete that because that's just a copy. I'm gonna change the spacing on this a little bit just to see how that works. I also had this idea where I could just use like a full stop just to showcase that um the brand value is being bold, and this is basically we're art, we're a circle. All we have no limit to what you can access with us. So you can either book a VR spot online. So basically I wanted to be a library of all of the virtual reality stuff where you can come in and have like a library pass per se, and go in and like watch whatever you want on demand, or you can book a time slot for a space where you can come in and rent a headset at a nominal rate and make it affordable and accessible for everyone. So I want this circle to signify basically that hey, it's limitless. There's no edge on this, but we're still edgy. I don't know.
You can
That
also
is not good.
still edgy. Get out. That's like earlier. I didn't read it out loud, but Steve said, "I like shade view. I need practice being shady."
Hey, Steve gets
On my
it.
own stream, I
Thanks,
have
Steve.
tomatoes that I can throw at the screen, but we're a little bit more professional here, so I don't have that feature. But Steve, come next week. Come into the
These
come
are
into
red
the stream and I'll throw
tomatoes.
some tomatoes at you.
I made the shape. Yeah, I made the shape red just for the tomatoes.
Just for the
There you
tomatoes.
go. There's you go.
For the yucks. Yuck, yuck.
Yeah.
Also, you're getting compliments from Anika and Christelle. They're saying that your workflow is so.
Anika and Christelle. There's an Anika in chat.
Wait, Anika in chat. What?
You said I got compliments from Anika and Christelle. Wait, who's Anika?
Oh, I meant to say voodoo. My bad. Surprise! Everyone's name is now Anika. That's what Hayden.
Oh my god, no. No, I always don't get like universal usernames. I don't want more Anikas in this world. No. Well, but no offense. Anika's a great name. Hey, if you call yourself
Say
Anika,
no
hit up,
offense.
hit me up.
Your name is Anika. You can't. you're not gonna have any offense there.
Okay, so I'm just playing with one idea. Typically I make like multiple logos before I get into it, but we can actually do that. You know what? Let's do it. So we have this guy, which is very, very fun. I don't know if it'll work out, but we'll see if it will work out. Okay. I'm just using the rectangle tool to get this across, and I'm gonna copy it and press Command D just so that spacing is same everywhere. It just duplicates stuff. And then I'm gonna bring this here, press R on the keyboard, rotate, hold shift, and then bring it across. Okay, that looks like a W to me. Does it look like
Marston
a W to you?
is saying that they really enjoy the on-screen shortcuts. So thank you for doing that. Also, Marston, if Anika does anything that you are unsure of, if it goes too fast, please don't hesitate to say, hey, can you do that again real quick? Because we always like to go and add clarity. So if you have any questions about how things are done, we love sharing the process. So just say something and we can pull it up.
Yeah, for sure. So this one is also WA, but I don't know if it reads like a WA.
It's reading more
but
of
this-
N's to me than A's.
Exactly. So I feel like this is what comes out of explorations when you do it on paper. It kind of does not work here as well, but I just wanted to see how it looked like with everything precise.
Well, you know what? You know what? It might help is if you go in to the A's and you lower the or
The
like
bar?
you make that lower just to make thicker, like yeah. You could even bring it down even more probably.
Okay, that's
Push
a
it
good suggestion.
to the
Push
limit.
it.
Limit.
Oh, I see what you're doing. This is like the opposite of negative space, though. Or maybe. I don't know.
See, that looks
Yes.
more like wow. Wow,
It
Luigi.
does. Oh, wow.
Ah!
Yeah. Okay, all right. Let me know if it's too jarring to like if I'm zooming in or out too much. But I really
Hey,
need to see
Daryl.
what's on the other side. Hey there, what's up? Oh, then go on the star tool. Oh, then go on the polygon tool. So I'm just gonna create triangles right here, just because I want to create a W with triangles. As you can see, I'm just using basic shapes for this. Let me just copy this here.
How'd you
Look
switch
at
up the number of
this.
points on your polygon there?
So I have this tool right here, which is basically set to rectangle. If you hover on it, it shows you what it does. You create squares and rectangles. But if you click on it, what is it? Oh my god, what? Illustrator. If you right click on it, you can see all of these. You can also pull it out. Oh no, not that way. You can also pull it out by clicking this button right here. So you have this hovering menu. I feel like I'm that person who always has menus all over the place, but today I've been like limiting myself to just using whatever I have on screen. But this is the polygon tool, and you can bring this across. You can make any number of shapes by using the up and down arrow key. You can actually switch the number of screens. As you can see, oh, my catalog on. If I press the down arrow key, it's decreasing the number of sides that I have. If I press the up arrow key, it's increasing the number of sides that I have. So yeah, that's how I made it. And if you hold shift, it's going to constrain the shape to be perfect. And if you hold option, you can decrease down the size of it. And if you hold option and shift, it's just going to look like a real triangle. Okay, that's it.
A real triangle as opposed to a fake triangle.
Yep, exactly. You got it. Ryan gets it. All right. Okay. Are we good on chat? I feel like I'm like going really fast. So like, let me know if
No,
that's
that's
the
what I'm doing.
case.
I'm grabbing whenever you do. I'm grabbing all the chat. It's lots of hellos and highs. You've got quite the fan base. There's lots of Anika and Ryan combinations here.
Ryanika.
Ryanika.
Oh, make it Rainika. Oh my god.
Renica, though, I just feel like I'm impeding on Rin. So
Bliss, is you moving the stuff too much? I don't know. Okay,
no,
let
move it
me-
around. I like the
Let's try this
motion.
here.
I like to bring it up.
Ah, of course you
going.
do. Of course you like
Of course
the
you
motion.
do. Yeah,
Of
motion
course you
time,
do.
baby. Make everything
so-
wiggle. Add a wiggle expression to everything. What's the worst that could happen?
Right? Okay, so I'm using this this one right here, the sketch right here, to make this shape. Let's see how that look. It's kind of like an eye because you're looking at things, you know. I don't really have like an explanation for this concept, but it is something. It is something, you know. Okay, let's see. A cool trick
Good.
would have been to actually see what the size of this thing is. So let me make it 300 by 300 so that I can actually make it a perfect.
To the numbers. Love it.
Yeah.
It's all on your properties panel. Yeah, I need to find a
That
better
is.
organization. Like, especially with two monitors, my panels really get thrown around. And sometimes I'll get into a workspace and I'll try to save it, but then I'll open an old project and fall into old habits.
Yeah.
But you know, it was crazy seeing Pink Pony yesterday, where she doesn't even really have the properties panel expanded a lot of the time. She really relies on
Oh.
the idea of collapsed icons on the right hand side, and she pulls them out when she needs. And that
Can
was
I just say?
all that.
Can I just say? I never know if you are in the chat and if you're watching this. Can you always recognize what those icons are? Because I, for sure, cannot ever.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
if this
there's
is-
a
this
few
is the
that I
best-
do.
I don't
But
know
other
what this
ones,
is.
yeah.
Oh,
It's your
yeah.
artboards.
This is the gradient artboard. I don't know what this is. Oh, okay. Let's not go there. Let's stick
No,
with
no,
what
I
we
think
know,
it's
okay?
valid. I mean, it's all about like, it's interesting. If you would do almost like an eye exam as to what you notice on screen and what you don't notice on screen. That's part
Yeah.
of the reason where I didn't know that was there came out of that segment, which we still have to do. But it's from the selective visuals that you have in these programs, and you know, just because you don't necessarily know what an icon doesn't necessarily mean that you're a novice. There's just so much to unpack in these programs.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's 10 different ways, not 10 maybe, but there's multiple ways to do the same thing in all of the Adobe applications. So if someone's not doing it the way that you do it, that doesn't mean that it's not the right way to do it. So yeah,
Right.
make sure to remember that.
Oh, I like this eye, and I like the perception of like virtual reality with the two circles is kind of like bringing in, because when you use virtual reality. It's bringing it apart.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad it comes across. Hey, nice.
It also is giving me Illuminati vibes. So
Oh, we got to stray
luck,
away from
everybody.
that.
or lean into it as a
I
member of
don't
Illuminati.
know.
Apparently, there's a Star Trek character named Anika, so that's Space Anika. Meanwhile, Voodoo is still trying to find ways to put your name into everybody else because she wants to make everybody Anika.
Nice. Hey,
Just
well,
'cause I don't realize what all the
Anyway,
icons are for, so I just start clicking all over. That also works. As long as you
That
get to a
also
means to an
works.
end, it's fine. You know?
Yeah, for
Everyone has
sure.
the different workflows.
Yes, I'm just like trying to see what shape works for me. So this is like my first exploration. So even if we don't get to anywhere, even after this, I'll probably work on this on my streams. So that's like a
So-
soft plug right here.
This part right here would be a really good place for Control Y for me personally when I'm working
Oh,
on it, just
yeah.
because you
You're
have
right.
those lines that are so close to each other that like
Mhm.
sometimes it's easier to just isolate it and be able to move it around that way.
But you know how this works because I have the stroke set up to inside. I think that's why it's causing it. Also, this is not really like a complete shape and it has no joints. So it kind of is causing this illusion that's not on the same line, but it is actually the same space if you look at outline mode. But yeah, we can fix that by creating copies. So let me just save this. I'm not sure if we're going to go with this
Copy it out,
later on, but
baby.
yeah, wait.
You're
Span
accidentally making a
appearance?
face now because it's two eyes side by side. Philip says Illuminati confirmed, and everyone
Um,
else is
It
digging
is
their
a
own
face
graves
now.
by
Oh
adding
my
eyes
god, I
and
love
triangles.
this.
So good luck, everybody.
Do you love this? I love this. Okay.
Oh, what? Like a little guy is like virtual reality.
Exactly. Okay, so this one is actually these are not outlines. So you go to object, you go to path, you go to outline stroke, and now they are shapes instead of strokes. So you have to remember when you're making strokes that you don't really make them outlines until you know that you don't want to go back. I do have a copy saved and that's really handy for stuff like that. But yeah, for sure, make sure that you have copies, especially if you're working with like client work. Make sure to have copies and iterations. But yeah, we're just having fun dabbling around. This is like the true process of logo design because you have to come up with ideas and think if everything works or not. It's not always the polished stuff that you see on social media, and I think I want to highlight that. In this day and age of social media, I feel like less and less people are talking about what really goes into designing a logo, and it's not just a 5-minute task. And I want to normalize the fact that logo design is not a 5-minute job, and you got to come up with concepts and really dive into it and see, like, do a lot of back and forth with your clients, and see what really works for them and what works for you.
100%. I'll also say that like you can get as complex or as simple in logo, but like even when something is extremely simple, like it doesn't necessarily mean that there's not a lot of process behind it.
Exactly.
Trial and error can really get you to some really interesting solutions that you wouldn't otherwise have. So even though after all of that hard work you can make the logo in under 5 minutes, it doesn't mean that the first time that logo was made in 5 minutes. But
Oh yeah, indeed. Yeah, it's all the experience and the practice and the hard work you've been putting overnight. It's not overnight success. It is all the hard work that you've been putting to learn the program, and that is what you base your pricing on as well, because it is not the thing that you can do in 5 minutes. It's how efficiently you can do it in 5 minutes, and because you can do it in 5 minutes.
Right.
I'm not wasting your 50-minute time for doing something like this, but just doing it in 5 minutes. Also, I don't know if I did that in 50 minutes. But this is another
It says
design.
Illuminati, which is funny. And then Bliss, it
Oh
says,
my
in
God.
these moments when I realize I have commitment issues, I make many duplicates just in case. I feel like that's like a design poster or a t-shirt in the making of just like a really busy artboard that says, I have commitment issues. Put it on
Yeah.
Redbubble. Let's see it. Let's go, guys.
Oh my god, do people even use Redbubble? I don't think I've ever ordered anything from Redbubble.
The Twitter
I'm
bots
really
do.
curious. Okay, that explains
People
it.
have been trolling the Twitter bots by like putting like pieces of artwork that say this was stolen by a bot, and then having a bunch of people comment on it, be like, "Oh my god, I love this! It should be on a T-shirt," and then a bot will automatically put it on a T-shirt. And they're like,
Oh my god, wow. Okay, so I have like 3 different typefaces here. I did already come into this with like an idea of what I wanted it to be. So I wanted to be a sans serif, and I have that one over here. But we have a serif which is very popular Abril Fat Face. We have Akira Expanded Super Bold, and this is Degular. This is one of my favorite from Adobe fonts. There is more stuff here, but you can always go ahead and filter it with your sans serif stuff. So we have this guy, and any of these that you see here are all sans serif now. Anisette, we just saw that earlier. But yeah, this is another one which is kind of rounded if I zoom in, and I don't really think we're going for that. So I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna delete this, and just go with this because this is what I had in mind. It's just something that makes my process easier for right now because we're live and I just want to get things done. So I'm gonna replicate this guy. I'm gonna bring this here and I'm gonna make it flush to the size. A good way to do that. Also, I'm gonna hide the artboards now just because I want to see it on a white background.
Shift Command
Um,
H.
yeah, there you go. And if you don't see this ruler on top, it's because it's hidden on the default workspace. So you press Command or Control R, and you can see this keyboard ruler, and then you can drag these guides into your shapes. So let me do that so that we can make it flush to the size of the logo that we have here. Obviously, there might be some spacing issues between these and this because I'm just doing this by eye for now, just to save time and for the demonstration purposes. So this is just a disclaimer that this is not a final concept. This is just a concept. This is not the final logo yet.
It could be. Who knows?
It could be. It has
Never say
potential.
never.
I never say never. I can see this guy being you know how you can just have like social media posters. This is not, again, not the exact size, but since you know that posters or like just posters, not even social media, it can just be posters. um oh, hold on. You can use these shapes as like negative space here. So if I bring this up and expand it and make it white, I can just bring it on top and use this in the form of using it as like a shape to experiment with like the poster idea. I feel like that really brings in and ties in with the visual language here. And then people can actually recognize it. So I can bring this here. Obviously, I'm going to scale it to the exact same size for everything that I do. But again, because I'm doing this for demonstration purposes, this is what we have here.
Oh, this is
But-
starting to feel very Paula again. I know we were talking about her earlier with
Yeah.
public, but
Library,
public theater, but
yeah.
it's feeling.
I feel like my work is highly influenced by Paula Scher's work because I really look up to her and the kind of work that she does. I actually, now that we are here, I want to bring up my thing that I created on my Instagram. One sec. Since we are talking Paula Scher, if you ever are familiar with Paula Scher from Pentagram's work, she's been doing it for decades and decades now. I love her work. I can't see it. Oh no. Oh, there you go. She works with illustrated maps, and I recently completed 100 streams on Behance with like 100k views or whatever. So I was like, let's just make a map of my journey. Oh, I see claps.
That's
Hey,
amazing.
thank you.
Very cool.
so I wanted
Also,
to make,
quick
like-
sidebar here. Oh no, actually, if you're in the middle of sharing that, I don't
Yeah,
want to take
I
you
was
away.
just saying that this is inspired by Paula Scher's illustrated maps, and I wanted to make something similar to that. And it's very different and also similar, but you can definitely see the inspiration. And I also work with type-based logos just because I feel like they can be really fun. And this is also like one of those things that you know how it all ties in together. I really recently saw one of the Skillshare courses that she has,
Oh, she's a
where she
Skillshare,
talks
really?
about. Yeah, she is on Skillshare. You know how Skillshare just calls people up to partner with them, and then they record the stuff for you. That's
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 really-
that's
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it would have to be with her. I don't really see her like sitting down and
exactly.
deciding to film her own thing.
Yeah. There would have
Real quick
been-
question, Voodoo. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, but I see that over on YouTube, people are chatting. They're saying they're asking questions. I know we're doing all the questions over on Behance, but I still want to
Mhm.
answer this one just because I think it's a good question. And Ruth is asking just a quick question about strokes in Illustrator, and it has
Yep.
to deal with the idea of scaling strokes. And Ruth says, when I have a design with strokes, what are the settings I need to adjust so that the weight doesn't change when I scale a design? And it's a really
So
one.
yeah, that's a
Um,
fun one. So I
I
have
was just gonna
created a
do it real
stroke
quick.
right here.
Or do you want to do it? Let's do it. I'll go back to yours real quick. There you go.
Oh, you were already
for
there.
it.
Oh,
I was already there, but
yeah.
I am even more into it if you can pull it off.
yeah. So this is like a stroke that I created just using the pen tool. I can do it again if you did not see it earlier, but I just use the pen tool, and we have. Let me delete this old one. We have this guy right here, and these are the stroke properties that I can bring up. I typically go into Illustrator preferences. So you go to Illustrator. Oh, hold on. Illustrator preferences and go to general. That's where you go and you see that the scale strokes and effects is checked on, and it's gonna scale it when it's checked on. But if you don't, okay, let's see what happens when it's turned on. Okay, let me just resize it. You see that the stroke changed as I scaled it up. If I scale it back down, it changes again. Now
You want to
this
know a
doesn't
shortcut to
really.
get there too, Anika?
Come on, Kay. Hey, there you go.
Oh, not even that though. Even
what?
I mean that also works too. I mean it depends if you want to go to your preferences or not.
Okay, what's the
But
shortcut?
if you hop out of that dialog menu, you go to your properties and you go under the transform area. There's the 3 dots in
Yeah.
the transform area. So go up. There you
Yeah.
go. Up. 2 more up.
Oh,
1 more. There
okay.
you go. There you
Oh,
go.
I know
Yep.
what you mean. I
And there you
always
go.
forget
There's
this.
scale corners and scale scrolls.
I always forget this. Yeah, that is also another way to do this. I was actually looking for it over here in the strokes panel earlier, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll not talk about it.
Also, Ryan
but
Marsh
that
walked
is.
in. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan. Ryan says hello to Ryan. But if you turn it off now and you scale it back up, it's gonna retain the size 20 that I had there. So yeah, that's how you do it. There you go.
All right. Well, I'm
I hope
having a
that
blast.
helped.
We're about an hour in right now. We are not done with this logo exploration. Like we said, it is a whole process, and we're going to come back to it in just a minute. But since we've been working for an hour, our hands are getting tired. So I think it's time for
Oh.
some monkey paws.
It is time.
All right, guys. So if you are new to the idea of monkey paws, it is taught to me by Anna Davis Court. I think she learned from somewhere else. Not trying to steal anyone's mojo, but she did these beautiful illustrations as well down here, and she taught us how to do these stretches to make sure that we take care of our hands and wrist during the time on the computer, because repetitive tasks can lead to carpal tunnel and other sore muscles that can inhibit you from work and hobbies and life. So do you want to guide through the process, Anika? Because I feel like you know it by heart at this point.
Yeah, my hands really hurt, so I think I probably do. But yeah, you say ooh, and you stretch your hands like this. That's the first pose, and you say ooh, and bring in your fingers. This one really hurts for me.
Really? This one's bad
And
for
then
you? This one's like my easiest
All of them
one.
are. All of them are bad for me. And then you
All of
bring
them
your
cause of pain.
hands down.
If you're in pain, make sure you stop though. You don't want to hurt yourself more by doing it.
Yeah, I mean, they're just bad because I need them, not bad because I don't need them. Okay, this is the second one. Oh, and then you bring this. Oh no! Oh, this is the second one. Hey, you guys, make sure you're hydrating while you're doing this as well. And then you bring it upwards, face the ceiling, and then Oh, this hurts. And then face yourself. And then again, and make sure you pull in the thumb because that really.
Thumb is the one
hurts.
that kills me with this one in particular.
I don't even know what faces I was making. So hey, I'm hurting. Okay, don't.
Vocalizations
And also-
are key clever. Definitely agree.
And make
shake
sure
it up.
to shake it out.
You want to do one
Yeah,
more?
shake
Let's do
your
it one more
hand.
time. Let's flip
Let's do
through.
one more time. Okay. Yeah. First one. Hey, face the camera. That was a good one. And this one, face the ceiling, face the sky if you're outside. And then face yourself, face your face. Face your face, guys.
They're never gonna ask me back. They're never. So I might as well do it now. Have the best time possible.
All right. And yeah, we're
Do
done.
some
We're
hydration
one hour in.
station.
Oh,
Do your
yeah,
neck a
let's
little
drink water.
bit. You know, stay healthy. Stand up if you need to. We're not gonna stand up because we're sitting down on stream, but
Yeah.
you guys do you. Thanks for walking us through that though, Anika. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I love it. I've been doing it watching your streams this week, so yeah, I love it.
Rob says
I
this
think
is
that's
getting
probably
better
the
and
only
easier.
time.
I think he's
I think
talking
that's
about
the
my
only time.
noises, but I don't know if he's talking about his experience or my noises.
I don't think it's the noises. I think it's
I think
both
it's the
actually.
noises. It's definitely the
I think
noises.
it's the fact that he can do it better now. I don't know, Rob. You tell us.
All right. So right now you're building out a connection between two squares with a middle path. I like the optical illusion that it's making there as well.
Yeah, I think this idea. Oh, where is it? This idea stems from this guy. But I'm not sure how I want to go about it. So I'm just experimenting here to see. There is another one here as well that I think can really work well with like a 3D extrude. So I'm just gonna make a copy of this and bring up the 3D extrude panel. If you are on the updated version of Illustrator, you will see the new extrude and bevel here. But if you want to do the older ones, that's 3D classic right at the bottom. So make sure to click on that. And it brings panel, which is right here. Oh, I was looking at it on my other screen. I was like, oh, where's the panel go?
I thought you were like looking
But
at it on the screen.
yeah, like, oh no, did I move my panel? But yeah, this is how you can change up. Now you can see that the color is black, so you can't really see the shading that I've added. So I'm gonna go back to 3D materials, and if you missed it the first time, this is your cue. You're gonna look at it the second time. Just because I did that wrong with the wrong color. But yeah, this is how I can change the extrude depth over here. You can change the angles right over here. You can rotate it around, get funky with it. But I'm gonna cancel
Get
that out.
funky
Come
with
back.
it.
Get funky with it. Or not, maybe. Whatever's your jam. Hey.
I don't want to force funk onto anyone.
Exactly. Indeed. So yeah, I have this guy here. You see this arrow right here, the two arrow shape, two-way arrow. But as I see, you can see in real time that the shape is moving right here. These are the angles. You can rotate it on all of the axes, X, Y, and Z. There's perspective that you can add. So maybe I add perspective. Oh, that's kind of that is kind of fun. Let's actually save that. Hey, oh my god, that is good. That's a happy accident. Okay, let's bring this here, and I'm gonna go back here and change the perspective. You know, the fun part of doing this is keeping live shapes, and then you can just go back and do this, and it's a natural shape again. So these are two ways to create like basic 3D shapes, and those really add dimension to it. Oh, see what I did there?
Add dimension to it. Get out of here.
But I can change this any way I want, and I think I want it this way. So I want the face to be this direction, and then maybe I want like 400. Let's see how that looks. Okay, yeah, maybe, I guess, maybe, perhaps, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I can
It's
use
really
this
cool
for
to
this.
see the 3D capabilities of Illustrator kind of really refine over the last like year or
Yeah.
two. Honestly, like they've introduced them over the years, but especially in the last like year or so, it has really increased. But I think that's also a reaction to the industry changing as well.
Yeah. I feel like the new 3D tools are really fun. If you've never worked with them before, they're right here. I don't want to slow down the process because I'm also streaming, but let me bring this shape right here. It might not do anything, but if it dies, I need a new machine. So go fund me. Hey. Beach ball. Okay, so this is like the 3D tools here, and these are the new 3D tools. This is a new 3D panel if you've never worked with it. If you're on TikTok, you've probably seen this. I'm not on TikTok, but I know that this trend is really popular of inflating your type. But this is your type. This is in real time. If you've ever used a 3D tool, you know that you can rotate stuff in real time there, and this is what it does. This was not there in the older versions of Illustrator, and this was only introduced after Max 2021. So if you're someone who digs that, and if you want to add materials to it, you can add a satin fabric, or a ripstop fabric, or a zinc, or a painted wood. You can do all of that fun stuff, and I'm gonna delete this guy.
And that's also
But
with
yeah.
the substance subscription. You can also access a lot of the ones that other people have created.
Indeed. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna ungroup this. I just expanded it and I want to ungroup it now. So I'm ungrouping it and then converting it just to outlines, just so that I can see the shapes better and just get like a framework of what we're working with. I'm gonna go back to my sketches just because I feel like I'm missing out on what my concept was. So okay, it's just a sans serif one and then just like a plane that gives in the illusion of something's within, Okay, let's go back. I have an idea. All right. So now we can create this illusion of the fact that this is a fill shape. We go here. I'm just gonna go in with the pen tool and create something here.
Yeah.
So,
as long as it's repurposed.
Think I see that. Yeah.
Voodoo Val has a question for Design Cat. All right, let's go. Let's hear. What is it?
Tell us, Val. Is your cat around? Oh my god, we have a cat cam. I just looked at that. What?
I just added it not too long ago.
Oh, okay. I'd been missing all of that for a while. All right.
No, I just
I'm
added it.
sorry.
It's good. You're fine. You're doing great.
Hey, that's Tuno.
Tuno,
I had to.
yeah.
Randall.
Anika
I
wants me
had
to name it Tuno, so we have Tuna and Tuno.
Yeah, well, that is Randall's joke. I don't want to steal the credit. Hey, Randall, are you in chat? Hi, Randall. What's up?
Pixel whiskers.
Okay. But Tuno would be fun. Can we get like Tunos in chat, please?
No, I don't want to have that. No, thank
Tunos
you.
in chat. Okay, so I have. I'm sorry. I'm just really excited to be here. I'm always thankful for Adobe Live to invite me back, and this is like the dream. I love Ryan's work, and yeah, I love it.
Oh my God, I love your work. We're so honored to have you walk us through so many things. I mean, I've already learned a lot of things, more than I'd like to admit, in today's stream. I didn't know that up and down thing about polygons, to be honest.
Oh my God!
I had
how
always
could
just
you,
like
Ryan?
clicked and then adjusted the up and down within the dialog menu that pops up. And I also need to learn how to use the shape builder a little bit more frequently, because I do not currently use it nearly as much as I should.
Well, like I said, it's just like a personal preference, you know. So if you are really comfortable with the Pathfinder, I mean, I use it as well when I'm like doing minus front or whatever, because sometimes it's just not efficient to use a shape builder. So I get why you use the Pathfinder. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just a kind of form of habit, but I feel like there would be a lot more efficiency if I were to go and use the shape builder instead. But, we'll see. Like you said, just because you do something one way doesn't mean that it's wrong per se. It can always be the other way as well.
Yeah, okay. So we have some options here. Let me quickly go back and regroup and bring these options here. Wait, are we not on the artboard? Where is the artboard? There is no artboard. Let's go back and see. Oh.
Command Shift H, baby.
No. Heart attack. Okay, let's bring these options here and see what we like. I think I really like this guy, so I'm gonna bring it here. I don't like the full stop or whatever. I think I understand the concept when I'm doing it, but I don't know if it really comes across well. So I'm gonna bring it back up and scale this to flush. So I think this looks this makes it a more modern look. And I'm gonna create another variation with just
I love
the
the
logo.
type underneath of it.
You do? Yeah, it is regular.
Yeah,
if anyone's
it's
interested,
nice.
that is. Yeah, I also really like it. So I'm just working in black and white for now, because I just want to see how it's gonna look inverted. So let me just Command G it, which is grouping it, and see how that looks on black and white.
Nice negative space as well, because although I feel like you can make different variations for white on black, I think that if your logo is able to not be modified and just be inverted and work, I think that's the most successful, because then you don't have to worry about multiple variations. It's just the black version, the white version. And if you're designing that in mind.
Yeah, and if you look at this has like a visual thing going on, wherein the WAA over here looks very like bigger as compared to the black on white. And sometimes people counter that with adding like extra shapes in here, so maybe like decreasing the size just a little so that it matches up. I don't know if I want to do that right now, but hey,
I'm loving. I know I've already touched on it, but I'm really loving the W -- dot that is like inspired by Paula up at the top, which is really cool. Yeah, that's just it's cool. I can imagine it like blown up on like 24 by 30 whatever, and just like walking by, like, when they like wheat paste it to the construction boards, and you're like walking around New York and they're up on the walls. I always think that would look really cool.
I love that. That's amazing. That's a very, very lovely compliment. Hey, thanks.
I like this one as well. Makes me want to go into the box.
Yeah, I feel like this type could be changed, so I'm gonna experiment with the type here and see what.
What about putting the W -- dot on the side?
That's an option.
Like cropped in a
way. We can do that. We can do that.
That could be
Let's
cool.
do it.
Cool solution.
Yeah, sometimes it's like you show your clients 10 concepts and they come back with saying that, hey, let's add 1 from concept 1, 2 from concept 3, and 4 from concept 5.
But that's like, why you want to copy your work and not delete. You want to make sure you can go back and reference your old work. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, gosh. We should work together more often. We create great work together.
Love that.
I haven't done anything
Yes.
except give suggestions.
Well, good suggestions are always welcome.
I'm
so
so good
hey.
at my job. How do I?
I kind of like it, but I also think that there's a lot going on here, but I'm not sure. We have to
Oh,
come
so you
back
hate
after
it.
a few hours.
I'd be the worst art director for that. Be like, oh, so you hate my idea? Cool, great. No, it's fine. It's fine.
This one does look very Illuminati now that you said it, so I
I'm
don't think
wondering
I'm
if you
gonna
can use it
use
as a
that.
pattern though, of some kind though. I feel like you could have a lot of fun with like the eyes, or like, ooh, what if you make it into a
The face
circle of
shape.
eyes?
Ooh.
What if you add like a rotate of it and like have it kind of like burst out almost?
Let's see.
Ooh, what's
Let's
she
see
gonna
how
do?
that
What's she
looks.
gonna do? What shenanigans is she getting into? Oh, she's grouping it. She's adding it. Ooh. Oh.
Look
The
at
cake
you.
is a
Okay,
lie,
hold on.
you guys.
Okay. I kind of like this eye. I might use it elsewhere, but like,
Ryan
I like
says,
this
is there
concept.
snacks in the box? What's in the box? What's in the
I feel
box?
like that kind of looks like a camera shutter or whatever, you know, maybe for
Mhm.
a photography brand. I don't know. This is here. This is just here. It exists. Okay. So yeah, that's a fun way to think that not all of your iterations will work, and I've really not worked with a lot of them right now because it takes time again.
No,
But
this
this,
question is great.
I can see this one as well. Let's do this one. Let's do this one real quick. What's the time like? Time check, please.
So okay, so it's we're about 15 minutes past the hour. I guess we could take a quick break and we could do the letter of the day if you'd like.
Yeah, we can do that. Let's do it.
All right, let's check it out. The letter of the day. What is today brought by? Today's brought to you with the letter Q. All right, so today is brought to you by the letter Q. The second one is my nephew's. I like to always call that out. Just a little, the kid saying, I say
Cute.
it, and then it's my nephew's saying Q, which is exciting.
Love that.
And then
Thank
it's
you, Ryan's nephews.
Demon Children from the online sound effects panel is the last one, so I apologize for them.
Nice.
We looked at a few letter Qs earlier, but I wanted to pull up a few more that we had. And Ricardo Cow created this one, or Cow, I'm not sure how exactly one might pronounce it, but I think that this one's really cool because it feels like an O, but it also has this like extension of the descender that is added onto it that gives you the idea of it being a Q. I also like the depth of it. The gradient's a nice choice. I like how it's not even like a 50% gradient. It's like down on the bottom. And then, yeah, the subtle noise is very nice.
Yeah, I really like the colors and the change of color when it comes to shadows. That really gives it the 3D look. Really
Yeah,
like
a
that.
lot of people make the mistake of just making all shadows black or,
Yep.
like not adding color to them. And the idea of having color is a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, that's
All
a
right.
fun one.
This one's crazy. This one I feel like is a little bit more closer to like Swoop style, who we had on earlier today. Make sure you guys check that replay. I like the vibe of it. Almost feels like a CD cover again. I like the star in the middle and the goopiness of it, the shine. And I think the actual version of it too also rotates in like a 3D form, but I
Fun.
have not been able to have animated work in this environment. So, but I think
Yeah,
it's cool.
but if you are joining us live, I know Val, our pro mod, is sharing live links in the chat, so you can check those out. And if you're on YouTube, hop on over to Behance. That's where the links are. Hey.
We have some weird ones today. We have some weird ones for sure. Oh, also, oh my God, I messed up Voodoo Val again. Maybe tomorrow I'll finally get it down where I send you the links in advance.
I
one
already
day.
sent her the links.
Oh,
I
you
sent her the
did?
links yesterday as well.
Oh my God, you are an angel. See, this is why Anika's the best. This one doesn't really look like a Q, but it looks like a Q, and I'm into it. I hate it and I love it. And
It's like a person just like doing yoga. That's messed up.
it's like a Who from Dr. Seuss doing yoga, like
Yeah.
on bent or something. That's amazing. But yeah, I like how bold it is. I like the weird squiggles of it, and you guys should check out the rest of them as well. We also have something from Rosita Urgina. Great name.
Oh.
And I like the presence of a grid here, because the grid isn't even just naturally 1 by 1. It kind of sticks to this 2 by 2 kind of repeating shape, and then within the shape it creates this queue with only 2 spots where there's a individual single circle filled in. And I'd like to see this combined with other ones. I feel like this would maybe be really interesting to have a headline in, if we just had a bunch of these letters kind of filled out with that and then playing with the circles elsewhere. I'd like to even see maybe even playing with the negative space in between the circles as well, with little sparks.
Yeah.
But who's to say? Randall says for the last one, Lorax does Shavasana, which I guess is yoga.
Shavasana.
Shavasana.
Yeah.
Fun fact,
That's
I can't
like
do yoga because of my surgery. So.
Oh, Shavasana. There's like a fun meme about it that Shavasana is basically just lying down flat on the ground. So
Oh, really?
People say that they love yoga and their favorite pose is Shavasana.
Because
Hey,
you're just
hello,
lying
what?
on the ground. I could do that
It's
one.
like
I
the
do that one all
resting
the time.
pose. Yeah, exactly.
This is one that I know that you specifically said that you enjoyed. And it is this weird goofy
Yes.
one by Zenatico.
Yeah, it's very funky.
Very funky. Love the textures. Love the colors. The colors are dangerously close to one another, where they almost blend, but they don't. And you can definitely see the division between the purple and the red. My question is, here's a question. There's 2 eyes that are visible on this creature in the queue. Is that the front and the tail? Is that like a very wide head, like a hammerhead shark? Is it like, I want to know how it works, because is that a beak on the bottom right with an antennas? I don't know, but I want to know more.
I have no
And I
idea.
want to pet it. I don't know if it would bite me.
Probably.
Right?
It might.
I also love the accentuating.
Accents. Accentuating.
Do you ever want you to have? You do anything? One of my favorite memes. But I love the accent of the purple that kind of gives form to the shape as well in a weird way, even though it's very unshapely. Ryan Marsh is heading out and said, "Great stream, really chill vibes, enjoying." Wow, oh my gosh, I need a break. It says, "I'm heading off. Great stream, really chill."
Really chill
chill
vibes. Enjoy
vibes.
your day, everyone.
Thank you,
Hey,
Anika.
thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Ryan and Ryan, for being here. Ryan, I know you're having a busy day, but thank you for popping in. I really appreciate it. Hey,
Yeah, thanks for being here, Ryan. When do you win? Yeah, Randall knows what I'm talking about. It's one of my favorite videos. He actually has done like a follow up to that, and he fully embraces it. He's not embarrassed by it, and that makes me so happy, because I would hate it if he was embarrassed by it, because I love that video. Dan Gearloff did 2 different ones that we included today, and I think this one's really cool. It feels very Art Deco. Feels like it's got some great Gatsby to it, but it also feels very modern and also very classy. So it's like 3 different things all converging into one. It feels like it's being propped up by the descender. It doesn't feel like it's like being flopped down like a lot of the other ones. It's instead being like raised up by what it's putting down, which is cool. And it's still kind of in 2 different forms, which is nice. So it's cool.
Yeah, I feel like it's super dynamic. I really like that about this one.
Bruce says, "I like this queue." Cool.
Steve says this
also,
queue is
Corvus
going
is
places.
It's going places. Yeah, up. It's made by the same guy, but I really enjoyed the difference in the 2 of them. I think it's really cool in this one that there's the spiral, but the spiral is actually only the centerpiece of it. If you look, like, the stroke changes on the bottom to kind of thin out, and then also in the center it's just a full circle, but you read it as a whole thing, and I think that it's very successful as a queue. I think it easily could be lost in abstraction, but it manages to really tack on to the parts that it really finds strength in, and then creates a good letter form.
Yeah, I really love like it looks like a racing track to me. Like the
Yeah,
concentric circles.
yeah. It reminds me of the little RC cars that you used to have that would go across the
Yeah.
track.
Yep.
Which are so fun. Afroja is serving out the thank yous to everyone. I love it. FOSS design. I include this one. It reminded me of Saved by the Bell, that kind of vibe. Also mixed with like Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, and I think that it's really interesting to have no center to the queue. This is a fully busy queue, but because there's so many elements, it kind of wraps around and creates the illusion of a center. And also the cuts in the middle, I think, are really strong. And I think that's like a rainy day, April showers or something, because it looks like rain or snow on top of a flower, like grapes and stuff. I don't know.
I like it. I like the shapes. Again, it's really dynamic. Love that.
And then this is the last one that we have, and it's from Isaac Coppin. And I like this one because it has that prop-up feel again. I think that it might be a little similar to a G, though, is my only criticism of it. I'd like to see if there's a way to maybe if it like flips it the other direction, so it's like going out rather than up. I think that might help make it feel more Q-ish. But I like the exploration and the simplicity of it. So
yeah, I like the minimalism as well. Really fun.
And then, of course, every single one made by Anika ever is the best, and I love the penguin ones. So there's always that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But those are the cues that we have today.
Cues that we have today. Yeah.
Cues. Tomorrow, we have R, and that is the last stream segment that we have for the week because Adobe is off on Friday. But quite excited about keeping this segment going, and I definitely want to explore more type on the streams next week on my own channel, live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 p.m. Be there. Anika, when do you normally stream?
I stream on Fridays at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, so that's too early for a lot of people. I get it.
It's too early for me, but the world, it's
the world wakes up. Hey,
experience, it's late at night for some people, and it's always a different group of people. So
yeah, I'm sorry. I was just looking at chat for a second, but while we were looking at the explorations, for the letter of the day, I did go ahead and bring up this concept that I was working on. So I kind of wanted to make it for the people, so this kind of looks like a person with raised hands.
Raised hands and really long legs. Those legs go all the way up.
Yeah, it's like a stylized human. But anyway, I thought of introducing some space to see how that looks and scale it down just to see if that merges together. It does merge together, but I do see the difference. Although on the first one, it kind of looks like the second one, so that doesn't really work. This one does seem to work better, so that's something to think about. And then I just created like a rectangular shape, which is the same height as this guy, which is right here. Right here. And then I just went to my properties panel and divided the height by 2. Like this. You can do math in Illustrator, so hey, what's up? Math or maths, whatever floats your boat. And then you can go here, and I just made a rectangle just because I wanted to use a shape builder tool to create this shape instead. I feel like this works better in terms of what I wanted to say. And then I scaled it down just to show you variations on black and white. And now we can probably go in and add color. I guess it's time. So maybe I remember how I mentioned, let me go back to my sketches. Where are my sketches? Here. Are these sketches? Oh, maybe this is not it. But somewhere in my sketches, I think I mentioned that I wanted to look bold and I wanted to have colors that are just blue or something that you can't miss, So while I say that, I also want to say that I have red in here, and red is considered like an emergency thing in a lot of countries and a lot of cultures. So you always want to look at what colors you're using and what is the usage, and if it's going to be a worldwide organization or a startup or a business, and then look at color usage in this case. But red is also auspicious in some countries, so make sure to check that out as well. But I really like this blue. I don't know if I'm going to use it or maybe switch to a... Yeah, I like both versions, but maybe I want it to be more nicer to the eye, I guess. I really like this because it's bold and you can't miss it, you know. And then I went on to create something that is like a very ironic logo here because this kind of looks like 8-bit, but it's not really because you're in VR. So kind of that here, but it kind of brings
But
it
I
to be
enjoy
like
it.
W.
I think that it could scale really well. I think you could add it to a lot of different places, and also like
Yeah.
the idea of virtual environments is very still ingrained. At least maybe for those people who are not Gen Z, maybe a little bit older. Like the idea of Mario and the idea of this
Yeah.
pixel-based reality. So I think it plays homage to that as well, which is nice. And yeah, no, you
Yeah.
can put that on the side of a building. You can also scale it down really tiny.
Yep.
And I really like that one as well.
That's like really tiny and it still holds up. So that's something that I really like. WAA kind of doesn't hold up here. It kind of looks like just shapes. So I feel like the negative space here can be changed. So maybe we can do that now. Let's go back up. Sorry, deselected something. But
Trying to
yeah.
pull up. There's this really cool design language for this city, and I'm trying to forget. I'm trying to remember where it's from. But they created a whole design library, and it was all this blue that kind of was brought to my memory because of that blue that you incorporated. I'm trying to see if I can find it.
Ooh.
I just don't
I
remember
know.
what city it is. It's a non-American city. Something south. Let's see if I can find
I have
it.
no
But
idea.
keep up the great work. And then in just a few minutes, we should do our little art segment real quick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, we just have 25 minutes left. Hey, no.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Time flies when you're
Okay.
having fun.
Yeah, it does. So I did make some changes to the type here and it kind of holds up better, but I still feel like scaled down, it really doesn't feel like a W. It just feels like smudged up shapes. I don't know if that really works for our purpose. This one also looks the same way, and so does this. But then again, it's not going to be so small. It's just good to have perspective. Maybe it's this small, and you can always give in your sizing in the brand guidelines that you use. So also, I did forget to open up my discovery deck that I created for this. So I'm going to bring that up real quick for anyone who's just joining us, so that you know where we're at. InDesign is just trying to load up right now. But yeah, we have InDesign right here. I have created this deck right here, which is basically describing what we are doing. So we are art, and the idea is to basically walk through the museums of the world hassle free. And then you have someone looking at paintings. These are all sourced from Google and Unsplash, so all of these are usable in your work, and that is what I typically use. This is inspiration pulled off of Pinterest, I think, and Design Museo is the name of the work. So if you look that up, you will be able to find the graphic designer who made it. I think this is all the stuff that I was inspired by when I was creating it. And then we have what the what are the things or services that your brand provides. So you can book a slot for a VR exhibit viewing. You can explore exhibitions in virtual reality, connect with the community online. Maybe it's like a VR chat room where you're talking to people, and you can also buy art on the blockchain. So that's always fun. We have the goal here, which is to define the visual story of VR art, and the branding should reflect WAA's mission to make art more accessible, immersive, and an all-round experience. We have some key applications right here, which is the space branding, wayfinding and signage, brochures, business cards, websites, basically all of the basic stuff that you see. Basically all of the basic stuff that you see in museums.
Basically all the basics.
And then we have some brand traits here. I want it to be bold, exciting. What is this? Get out of here. I want it to be bold, exciting,
It was
and
trying to be
dynamic.
bold. InDesign was
Trying to
like,
be bold.
hold my beer.
And then we have some ideas to work with. These are some of the museum logos that I pulled up. We have the Met, Louvre British Museum, Rijksmuseum, and MoMA, and all of the fun stuff. And then the ideas that I wanted to work with were using brand elements as clipping mask for brochures, which is actually what we saw here in case of WAA. In here with the first exploration, we have brochure with map, which I also want to use like the shapes to be the map of the space and base the architecture around it. Since I am the one which has the most creative freedom in this case, I can do that and base the architecture around it too. And then the third was exploring isometric text, which we also did. We have some color here. Typically, you would make this deck for your clients as well, but a bit more detailed. I just pulled this up just because I wanted to explain my process a little bit better. So these are some colors that I grabbed inspiration from. And then we have some typography. So this is how maybe the brochure is going to look like. I'm not sure if the content's going to be same, but maybe it's going to be laid out like this. We don't know. But yeah, that's the idea behind the whole thing right now. What we're doing. If you're just
Well,
joining
that's
here,
great, and thank you
hey.
for preparing so much. I know that you worked on like all this beautiful stuff on stream, but also the stuff, everything that you prepared in advance and had for the prompt
Yeah,
is very admirable. And thank you for taking so much time to incorporate that into the stream.
for sure. That's not a problem.
And with
Always
that
love
said,
learning.
it's time for some art talk.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're gonna hop into the artist that you brought up in just a second, but I also wanted to bring up this brand design for the city that I was just reminded of with your blue that you had incorporated on the We Are All Art. It was really cool. It won a bunch of awards. It was in June of 2014. They were put in charge of designing the new identity for Porto, and it really is this beautiful design language that they created a bunch of different symbols that these are kind of reminiscent to me of the things that you just created too. And they created several symbols that then they could then adjust and add together to make these crazy patterns where they lined up
Oh,
and worked together on a grid. And then they took that application and they put it all over the city. They put it, in the branding. They put it in the welcome guides, and it's a really beautiful way to not necessarily even have a logo. Like, yes, they have the logo that's the Porto, but the real beauty is in the pattern and its adaptability. And I know you said that you really like adaptable logos, and so I just thought this was a really
yeah.
cool case study and just really well done.
I love that. I love that. With the wayfinding, I feel like I also wanted to go with the direction of having just like line work and strokes for the wayfinding, because that would really reinforce the idea of also to know that was really reinforce the idea of it being a bold and very dynamic concept. So yeah,
Oh, well,
nice. I'm glad it
very
reminded
cool.
you of that, because that's a compliment. Hey, thank you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, like I said, the stuff that you made today was absolutely beautiful. Becca says I love the art.
I just
and the
realized
detail
I'm also
punch.
wearing that blue. Hey, what?
I'm blue. Dabba dee dabba
This is
die.
not. This is not intentional, or maybe it was. I don't know. You
It all
decide.
comes full circle. So the last thing that we want to touch on is you asked who you'd like to go over tour, and you said you'd want to go over Kusama, who is still alive, which is exciting because a lot of the people that we've been going over have already passed away. But you guys are probably very familiar with Kusama. Her work has increased in popularity over recent years, but even I know, especially with her infinity mirrors and her polka dot rooms, where like interactive art has really found a center stage in the public talk of social media and art galleries, and what it means to go to an art gallery and be part of the art in the middle of the art and document the art, and the idea of Instagram museums and what have you. She kind of predates all that and kind of, I think, also laid the groundwork for it. But she is 93 years old, and she is probably at the height of her career right now, which is so inspiring because, we are still decades and decades away from that ourselves, and maybe, fame and fortune is still ahead of us. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? She actually moved from Japan at the age of 27, and she came to New York, and she was really inspired by Georgia O'Keeffe's work. And she wrote a letter to Georgia O'Keeffe asking how to make it big in the art industry in New York. And to her surprise, she was surprised that Georgia O'Keeffe actually wrote back. And she's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Is it possible to actually get replies? And she kickstarted at the age of 27, and she's still making it big. She was not considered equal to a lot of men at the same era and doing the same things as her who copied their work. But she still stick with it and was consistent and used her mental health. And I really like this about her work, that she used her mental health issues and her hallucinations as a source of inspiration to keep going and creating art out of it, and use that to put it out there in the world for everyone else to see as well. So yeah, that's really inspiring for me.
No, absolutely. Now, we grabbed a lot of the analysis from Nude, which is a art website that breaks down different important artists. But so we want to make sure that we give credit to that as well. But we pulled a few of her pieces. This one's from 1959, so this when she was a lot younger in her career, and she was really kind of coming onto this to your point, Anika, about moving to New York, and she's kind of creating this first look into mass scale of in like infinity and so many of the same objects over and over again, and how that creates a new composition, and how that creates something interesting to look at.
Yeah, it's really fun for me to look at it because not just because there's the same thing repeated over and over, but the way that they put it, there's something about it that doesn't make it seem like it's like a perfect pattern. You can't really tell that it's a pattern, but it is a pattern, but it's not a pattern, but it is.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing. That's really, really interesting for me.
Here's another one with
That's
a
a
little bit
fun
more
one.
structure, which is cool. And I love how, how do you own polka dots? Like how do you get to a place where your work is known through something so simple, but she really manages to build an instant recognition and identity through these polka dots. She obviously is leaning towards flowers in a lot of her different pieces, but this one is like the most like constructed singular flower with still having repetition and infinity. I think the cracks in the background are really cool, and the break of the net. And apparently it is symbolizing life and death, masculinity and femininity, and celebration and mourning.
Yeah, I really love the hidden message behind it as well. Kind of looks like a stained glass to me, and you can see within that, and then there's like the polka dots that are denser and bigger, kind of look like they're shadows.
Yeah.
That's really a fun way to play with like polka dots and shapes. Again, it always comes down to shapes in the end. So I really
And
like
negative
that.
space, because it's the space
Oh,
in
yeah.
between the dots as well
Yeah.
that really make the feel.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can we go back
like a
on the
colorblind
last
test.
one just a second? Oh yeah, definitely. I just want to say that in this very early work from 1983, we see that the yellow flower over there is kind of reminiscent of her current work right now, which is the pumpkin. She really draws pumpkins a lot, and she's inspired by it. But that kind of reminds me like this huge art installation. I think it was at the Botanical Gardens as well,
Yes.
or maybe elsewhere. If I'm yeah. So that's really a fun one.
Not my botanical
Just wanted to
gardens,
say.
though. I live right next to like I'm like
Yeah,
toxic.
the other
I live
one.
right next to the Brooklyn Botanical Gardens. They had this, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be at the Botanical Gardens. I can't wait to go see it. Like it's outside because like COVID was still like really bad at the time. I mean, it's still bad, but it was like really bad at the time. And I was like, oh, perfect thing to do outside. Da 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 da. And it's all the way at the top of Manhattan. I'm like, I never went.
Oops.
Lazy Ryan.
Had
yeah,
you
so this
been
one
at-
definitely feels like a colorblind test to me, but luckily we're making it through. I was thinking of games we could play, and I was like, what if we did colorblind? And I was like, I really don't feel like ruining anyone's day by figuring out they're colorblind through the stream.
That would have not been good. But maybe it would be, I don't know. You never know.
Yeah, I don't know. It says Kusama's painting here presents an interesting dichotomy between the calming and whimsical visual qualities of the composition and the artist's inquisitive and obsessive drive to contain and constrain her neurosis. And I think this does a great job, especially that conflicting contrast, especially with the blue and the white dots right up against the cracking of the red and the white. And it's a busy piece, but I think it looks great.
Yeah. Love that.
1988. All right, here's a little pumpkin. Saying this is what you're kind of talking about too. And these are ones that I know for sure are on view up in the Botanical Gardens. They have a few of these, and they have a whole room of them. But yeah, she's been always kind of fascinated with pumpkins, and I love how down the center of these strokes, almost like a basketball, they have uniform size all the way down, and then it also goes along with the curves to really create an illusion of depth that's even higher and deeper than what the pumpkin actually presents.
Yeah, I really loved like the top of the pumpkin also being black and like it being inverse. That really adds to the whole composition as well. Also, this photograph is really great. So props to the photographer.
Very well documented. It says that the first piece was painted in the Nihonga style of traditional painting that was developed in Japan around the 19th century, which is really cool because I know you said that she moved to New York when she was in her 20s, but it's still great to have that through line of ancestry and tradition and work.
Ooh.
Here's another one of growing. She really is connected, obviously, like we said, to flowers and to growth and pumpkins. And
Hmm.
this one's much darker than the ones that I normally associate with her. But
Yeah.
I think,
I think it might also be the photograph. I think. I'm not
yeah,
sure, but it might be. Also because it's like an infinity mirror room sort of a thing. So
yeah.
it kind of can be that, when you're photographing mirrors, it's not really the best light.
Oh well, I mean, we can even get to cooler stuff. Like, yeah, I know that Voodoo had mentioned the art installations where she had a full room decorated floor to ceiling or art. I mean, and this is a lot of it too. This is one's a little bit more on the nose. She has a
Hmm.
piece where like she gave to kids and people that were coming to see it. I don't know if it's in this presentation. I can't remember, but everyone got like a colored dot, and you were allowed to go put it anywhere in this room that was just all white. And then like as the
Ooh.
exhibition continued, like it grew and grew and grew, and it was like since it was her vision, it was her work, but it was also a work between the people, and it was really
It
cool.
is. It is cool. Yeah.
This seems like a horrible room to be disoriented in, though. I feel like if I woke up in this room, if someone like kidnapped me and put me in this room, I would be terrified.
It feels
Beautiful,
like
though.
one of those Saw movies that I'd wake
Yes,
up in and never find my way out.
which is so funny because it's like so joyous, but it's also like too
Yeah.
joyous. It's almost like a jester or a clown,
Hmm.
and it gives you claustrophobia. It's scared. These are great. These are so
I
cool.
love these.
In 2006, so she's 70 or 80 something when this manifests, and it's once the thing, the idea of making polka dots part of your brand identity. I saw in the chat actually that Philip mentioned Damien Hirst, which is another polka dot. But the thing that's really interesting about Damien Hirst versus Kusama is that they both have like ownership over dots. But if you were to show me either of them, they have enough of a style within those dots that I can be like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's Kusama. Oh, that's Damien Hirst. Like, it's really interesting that with dots, you can still have that ownership, which is cool. Also, am I talking too much? I don't want to like mansplain Kusama. Please feel free to add anything that
You're not
you want to.
mansplaining anything. We're good here. I feel like we need
Okay.
to talk about these things more, and I love that we're doing it over here. So hey, thank you. You're not mansplaining. You're just planning.
And thank you for also bringing up Kusama. She's so great. I learned about her in college, and it's been cool to kind of see, like I said, like she's always been famous, and she's kind of only gone up from
Yeah.
fame. And like you said, she had a hard time with the patriarchy and being an artist in the 20th century, but as a woman, and it's just kind of really cool to see as she ages, like people are like, no, yeah, you're one of the greats, you're great. Even if it is for Instagram, like these
Yeah.
beautiful gleaming lights of the souls, which is glass mirrors, acrylic, LED. People go in, you can take pictures, and it just looks like you are in this vast void. And they're actually not that big of rooms either.
Amazing.
They are like often like
Yeah.
closets, and you go in, but it feels like you're in the middle of space.
It's the infinitism. Wow, I ruined it. It's the infinity mirrors, baby. Okay, let's go back.
Baby, yeah, see, I'm rubbing off on you. Here's another one. This one feels like the Matrix to me. Has a Christmas party.
Oh, yeah, very matrixy. I love that. Yeah, red and green. Oh, I love the sun. Oh my god.
See, this is so close to me. I could technically go there right now, but it would take me a long time that I would not like to
A
do.
week to get there.
A week to get there, exactly. So these are all the examples that we have. I guess we have a few more minutes. I wanted to open it up to chat to see if anyone else has anything to add. And in the meantime, I guess we didn't really touch on your YouTube. You want to talk about your YouTube real quick?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of what you do on YouTube.
I can talk about YouTube. So
We don't talk about YouTube. No.
I recently started.
You like that? You like
I
that?
know in this world and day and age of TikTok and small content videos, I feel like a lot of people who actually want to look at content for a longer duration and are looking for something really specific are still going to YouTube. So I decided to bring up like whatever I've learned over the years, learning the tools and softwares to my YouTube. So it's youtube.com/Anika Aggarwal, which is my full name. You can go there. There are some curated playlists. So there's Adobe Fresco for beginners. You can look at Adobe Fresco here. There's what's new, which is the latest update in February 2022. This has been the most popular video on the channel, and there's also other stuff here. And then there is Adobe Illustrator tutorials. So there is how to create a template, playing card design, all of these fun things as well. And why do my vectors look pixelated? I mean, it is not clickbaity video review. Actually, that happens. So hey,
It's all part
and
of YouTube in the same way that we
it's all
have
part of
different
YouTube
clickbait, Instagram reels, and
for sure.
it's all part
Yeah.
of the language that we develop for these social networks.
And thumbnails really make a difference. So, hey, that's it. That is me talking. But hey, we are also live. So, I have this Adobe Live curated playlist where I've been a guest and a host. So, you can go back to my YouTube channel also and check it out. We have some of this stuff here, and yeah, it's just really fun. And I would really appreciate if you subscribe. I post videos every week. I have been kind of slow for the past couple of weeks because of a lot of work, but I promise to be back with Fresco and Illustrator videos.
Good problem to have,
That's it.
though.
Yeah,
More work,
yeah,
more
for
work.
sure.
And you
Always,
are
always.
predominantly you're available for freelance, right?
Yeah, I work with contract, always remote because I like to work nights and I feel like that really helps my workflow and I'm most creative when I'm doing things at night. So yeah, I'm available for work.
And so they can find you on Behance and Instagram and YouTube. I guess I could put up the one that actually has the way all the way at the bottom here. These have the ones with the full on, a little bit different on a
Yeah.
few different things. You can see Anika and I tweet back and forth at each other really dumb things on Twitter. And then, of course, like you said, you are streaming on Friday mornings at 8 o'clock, right? Eastern?
8:30 a.m. Eastern. Yeah.
8:30 Eastern. But thank you guys so much for being here. And thank you. A huge round of applause and a huge thank you to Anika for being a superstar guest, as always. Like I said, I learned so much, and it just means so much to me that you came on and shared so much of your wealth of knowledge. Obviously, we still have a lot more to learn from you, so we'll have to check out your live streams and your work. As far as the rest of the day, you guys, that is the end for me. But if you stick around till 2:30, there is a new episode of How To, and then tomorrow we have Jamie Brindle and Rachel Ashley, as well as Kyle's show tomorrow morning, and I believe a UI and UX thing right after Kyle's. So that'll be earlier in the morning. Make sure you bring your cups of coffee. Once again,
Indeed.
I
I think it's
closed
at
out
8
like
a.m.
2 minutes too early, so.
It's
Yes.
okay. We can go back to Illustrator. Hey.
Like Illustrator, or, we could just do a full screen cat cam.
Oh,
Important.
he's just sleeping.
The first stream, he was like crawling all over the place, and I can't kick him out of the room because we're trying to introduce him to the other cat. And oh man, it's been
I love
it's been
cats.
something else. Yeah, no, they're just so with dogs. You just put two dogs in the same room and they're happy. With cats, you have to do this whole song and dance. It's like learning waltz or swing or something. Oh, man.
Unlearning and relearning, I guess.
That's
I don't
so
know.
it's crazy. What was your favorite that you pulled out from today?
I think the first one was my favorite, the one that we worked on. I did go ahead and modify it a little bit so that it looks a little bit more legible. I think I'm going to work on that more and refine it. But I also like this, and I also like this, and I also like this one. So, yeah, I don't know. What has been your favorite amongst all of these?
I really like the box ones.
Mhm.
And then, like I said, I really like the ones that feel like posters. The cool thing about the
Yeah.
one that you kind of landed on as your favorite is when we keep talking about these virtual worlds and the idea of this crossover.
Yeah.
I kind of think it's cool that it also gives the idea of www dot with
Mhm.
your w// dot. And I think that
Yep.
it's like a something else that kind of feels like it's a paying homage to older internet, where everything
Yep.
started.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also really like the pixelated one, which I know you said wasn't your favorite, but
I mean,
that
I'm
one
not
really-
sure if it is, but I think it works well in terms of scalability, legibility, and you remembering it as well, and you relating it with the whole idea and the brand. So,
I also imagine it like ripping apart from Checkerbox, like almost like a Cartoon Network Checkerbox that then rips
So,
apart and then becomes. its own
remember
thing.
how we saw that? Remember how we saw that on the queue
Oh,
that
the
we just saw
blue.
today?
Cool.
Yeah, I love the blue as well. Oh,
As well.
yeah. This is what we did today. So if you just are just joining, hey, watch this whole live stream on replay. It'll be
Yeah,
available
watch
on
that
demand.
replay. But thank you again. I think that is time for us. Make sure you give me and Anika both a follow, both on Behance, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. I'm Ryan Selvey on everything. She's Anika AGG on mostly everything. But if not, here's all of her other socials: Anika_AGG and Anika Aggarwal on YouTube. Thank you again, Anika. You've been a wonderful, wonderful guest, and I can't wait to have you on again in the future. Take care and talk to you real soon.
Bye for now.
Bye. You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.